Hello everyone, this is Jack, and on today's video I actually have a caving video for you to watch. Some of you always ask, do you film any of your caving trips? And usually I don't, but on this particular special trip that I got to go on, my good friend Matt, he did a lot of the filming with his GoPro, and so we're going to use a lot of that, and I'm going to try to do some commentary and talk you through some of these areas that we were going through. But the backstory of this trip is quite amazing. This was in February of 2024 that we met, and what we were doing is it had been 70 years since 1954 that the National Speleological Society had underwent probably the largest organized caving expedition that had ever been attempted at the time. It was known later as the C3 expedition, Floyd Collins Crystal Cave expedition. A lot of people just know it as Crystal Cave. But in 1954, there was this historic trip to go beyond the endurance limits of most cave expeditions. In order to do that, they had to go to the lower levels of this cave system and set up base camps so they could actually stay several days and nights underground, continuing to explore and survey, because this cave was just unlike any other. It really had no end in sight, so it took multiple days underground to explore. There is a book written about that 1954 expedition called The Caves Beyond, written by Joe Lawrence Jr. and Roger Brucker. And what is really cool is this trip that I got to go on. This was a 2-day event. The first day, Roger Brucker was there along with Roger McClure. These were two of the original expedition leaders from 70 years ago. And so a big group of us gathered with them. We actually went down into Crystal Cave and we got to listen to them reminisce and tell stories about what they remembered about the trip, the positives and the negatives, what was successful and what wasn't, and what they learned. And this was really the beginning, I would say worldwide, of modern day cave expeditions, organized survey trips.
And some of us were caving for 24 hours or more because there were no available sleeping bags.
Slides of the 3C expedition.
I don't have very many. I brought a few slides along that I could find. I need to search around more. Goodness knows. It's been 70 years ago, folks. Yeah.
They knew that led to more cave and passageways, but at that time in 1948, for Bill and Jim or Luther Miller, for those guys to go way out there and turn around and come back, that was sort of their endurance barrier.
This was such a great day being in the cave with these people. Many of them I consider caving legends. To hear them reminisce and tell these stories 70 years to the day that they got to experience this trip was pretty amazing. Our purpose was on day 2, a small group of us was going into those lower levels, working our way all the way to those base camps and documenting the artifacts that were left behind 70 years ago. The signatures, there were artifacts that we had to document. So our goal was to document all this stuff and report it back to the National Park Service, because now Crystal Cave is part of the Mammoth Cave system inside of Mammoth Cave National Park. Another cool bit of history is that Crystal Cave was actually discovered by Floyd Collins. If you don't know who that is, just Google Floyd Collins, cave explorer. Floyd discovered Crystal Cave in 1917. The lower levels that we were going to is a place called Floyd's Lost Passage. Floyd never told many people about this passageway. He alluded to it, that he had found huge tunnels deeper into the lower levels. But when he passed away a few years later, no one really knew what he was talking about. And it took several decades of exploring to find this passageway. So it's actually called Floyd's Lost Passage. And so that's where the camps were set up back in the 1950s. That's where we're trying to go on this trip. And it's really cool because once we get down there, not only do we see Floyd's name scratched on the wall, but he actually still had some of his material down there, his bean cans and his fuel can. It's still there from about 1920. So that was pretty amazing to see as well. Let's get to the trip. Hope y'all enjoy this video. The entrance to Crystal Cave. Our expedition leader is Tommy Brucker. You'll see him occasionally. He was wearing an orange sweater in this video. Jeremy Reedy and Matt Mazzadlo. Jeremy and I have green coveralls and red helmets on. Matt's GoPro camera is where this footage is coming from. We had a group of cavers from Missouri. We had LJ with us, who caves with us a lot. And Bill Steele, a famous caver down in the Mexico region. After this brief orientation, we got right into the crawling.
LJ coming through the fence bend.
Oh yeah. Hello world. How's my lighting?
Very good.
There we go.
Makeup.
Nice. Buttons, green buttons.
Okay, we are at the keyhole. And here it is.
If I can fit through it, there's hope for all of us.
It's really, you gotta stay to the left. You go through it.
Do you do arms up? Both arms up?
Yep, both arms up.
Okay.
This is the keyhole. It's a little less than 10 inches high. It's a very difficult passageway to get through. It's very awkward shaped. Some of us had quite a bit of difficulty getting through it. This is LJ coming through. And I struggled a little bit myself, I won't lie.
Yes! Yes!
Now my butt.
Somebody get back and let him push off on you.
Wait, yeah. Yes. Yes.
Next up is my caving brother, Reedy.
Well, I guess Matt is definitely gonna be hashtagging Beyonce now.
You better. Now look at you. With ease. See folks, when it comes to weight loss, that's my goal right there.
All right, well, yeah, we're gonna have to.
Now it's my turn, and at one point you'll hear me have to exhale to get my chest through.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Nice.
That was a little tight for this
Yes.
big old belly.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Although,
Yep.
Whoever the red one is.
with flash stripes? Yeah. Oh, this is mine. I don't see a red one with flash. Oh, it's back there, yeah. Back behind Matt.
I still think it tastes good, but I used to work before that.
No
Matt,
big.
can I have a red pack? Here?
Yep.
You have a choice.
Back or belly?
On your back,
That's what I'm thinking about.
you close your eyes.
Watch this. Tight. Very nice, Bill. I'm committed now. I don't know if you can, yeah, go. There we go. Yes! Good job.
Tight.
Way to push. Just stick both arms through.
Unless you go through on your back.
And then it's the opposite.
Oh, I forgot to take my glasses out. Dang it. Would you like your feet kissed?
Very nice.
Whoa!
You okay?
Holy crap, it's tight.
After the keyhole, we got into a lot of tight canyons like this one that I'm in. This tight slot canyon. This led to a few drop downs coming up. A lot more crawling and squeezing.
Here. It's an important junction when you're coming out. You need to go up here. You see an arrow, right?
Whoa. Molly, MCC. Stephen Bishop. Not long now. That was Yep.
Okay, this is coming up to Shark Rock. And right before Shark Rock, if you look to the left wall, there's a Floyd signature.
Okay.
If you want to point,
What is Shark Rock?
we'll point that out to people right there.
Okay, I will.
Floyd. Shark.
Whoops. That's right.
Hi.
Are y'all on the floor?
Yep.
Are we supposed to go down?
No, you can come a little farther and come down. Yes.
I'll let Jackie clear and I'll do that. It does take me back to Roppel. Yeah. Fond memories. Oh, I see a light way over there.
Yeah, this is... I think this is probably the easier way to climb down over here.
Where you at?
There are some people that just don't like this because it's.
Well, I mean, it's real slopey over here too, though, so... But see, this is what ours called Boxworks.
Oh, okay.
That's the...
Okay. Yeah. Yep. This is the. That is a interesting way to come down. Good? Yeah.
Now here you have Reedy taking the lead, and you can see I'm right here following him, and the rest of the group is coming up behind us. They're taking a little bit of a breather. We've been in the cave a couple hours now. At this point, we've already been banged up a lot, just mostly a lot of sharp, jagged, scalloped walls, and kind of like crawling through a cheese grater, and climbing up and over canyons and straddling obstacles. For the next hour or two beyond, it was really hard to get good footage. So we're kind of fast forwarding through this area, but some large drop-offs. We had to climb up and down some large flowstone and boulders. Now Reedy has been here several times. He used to survey in this cave a lot with Art Palmer. It had been about 10 years since I had been in this part of the cave. I can't quite remember how to get in, so I'm still following Reedy through the cave because I wasn't quite sure if I could remember all the turns to take. But yeah, 10 years later, this is, it really wears you out if you're not used to caving. And this part, you know, LJ is almost stuck. He has to go underneath to get his head out.
This little bell down. God room, whatever you want to call it. Actually, no. Abandoned.
Eventually, we make it to the vertical shafts. This is the bottomless pit. I am not a fan of heights, folks. This is the part I did not like. You had to crawl on this ledge for quite a while until you finally got to these cables and you could stand up and kind of canyon over the last part of the pit system. If you read The Caves Beyond, the book about the 1954 expedition, as they are crawling along this ledge trying not to slide into this pit, they quote, one person says, "Don't worry, if you fall, you will starve to death before you hit the bottom."
Oh, you could rig a, whoops, sorry, Bill. You could rig a hell of a J. Oh, you got, look at, you've got to be kidding me. There's a spoon on the end of a stick. Can you dig it? Don't touch the artifacts. Can you dig it?
So that spoon and stick was used to dig a ledge out around another pit coming up. This is called Formerly Impossible. And it's another drop, one that I did not like. And this little ledge that they dug out with that spoon, I believe that was Jack Lerenberger and Bill Austin did this, so they could have a little bit of a space to crawl. And you see the guy that's getting ready to crawl now, he's laying on the ledge, and where his hands are and where his feet are, you're actually crossing a crevice or a crack that drops over 90 feet. And when Matt gets up here with his GoPro, he gets in the ledge, it's been dug out, and he looks down into the pits. Do not like this area, especially the crack I have to crawl across. Complete exposure at this point.
Man, that fluting down there that you're looking at is awesome.
Goddamn pack.
Thanks.
Thanks, bye-bye.
I forgot the part. I don't know if I want to take it back. You were cussing me under your breath last night when I went past I don't know, you were too scared to fit in that crack that I fitted a while back. Tell you what, your ass fits.
This super tight vertical crevice that you canyon down into actually opens up into Floyd's Lost Passage. I did this 10 years ago, very little problem, but I'm not going in it today. Here you got Tim Green going in. He's quite skinny, and so was the young lady that went through. But after they go through, we'll show you the alternate way around and how we got to Floyd's Lost Passage. This was the last major obstacle to get to where Camp 1 was set up back in 1954, so we could start documenting the artifacts.
If I had my chest piece over there,
About 100 yards on down the trail is the other way to get into Floyd's Lost Passage, but you do have to get into this crawlway. It's a little bit of a sharp, jagged crawl with a lot of sharp rocks grabbing at your shoulders and knee pads and packs and helmet. A little bit of a drain, so you're crawling through some mud and water as well. And then it pops out into the big passageway that you kind of have to actually kind of jump down into, that we'll show you here in just a second.
Yeah. There's more bullets.
Bush has been,
Matt's just gonna step down here.
Want to film it? And is that the way Floyd got here, right there?
No. Floyd came up from Mud Avenue, so he walked up here and put the bean cans down. Unless those aren't really Floyd's.
Are those the bean cans somebody heard being crushed when nobody was there? A ghost story?
Wait, I think was they heard somebody yell, wait,
Wait for me!
wait for me.
Well, that's an English caving story, you know? Why do you yell rock? Why that became the norm, you yell rock. Because they were doing tank call, and they dropped.
Let me show you what's behind me here.
No, it's not that long flat.
I don't know.
Plenty of light.
Do you want to record the...
I did not.
That is cool.
I don't.
Floyd's Lost Passage.
Jackie has.
Finally, Floyd's Lost Passage, big walking passageways that extends over a mile. Here I am with Tom Brucker celebrating. Here I am with Reedy and Matt. My coveralls look wet, that's sweat. And here I am posing with the bean cans from the 1920s. This is Floyd Collins, his fuel can and bean cans from the 1920s. These are very historic and kind of famous artifacts. Then after this, we went on to document the camp artifacts from the 1950s.
You want to go first, or let's take a photo?
Well, I wonder if it could have been like a.
No, it's below the table.
Yeah, I thought like he.
Just gonna show him what's up here.
Oh, okay.
You get down here, stick your head in here, water.
It's the water from over there.
Oh, you can hear it?
Yeah.
I gotta wait till it has photograph and label.
I think I know what this stuff
I'm just gonna follow the photo and label people.
Caseyville and Riverside. Local conglomerate well above us.
The old campsite consisted of a kitchen area and then rocks with some amazing signatures, old historic signatures everywhere. So we photographed, we surveyed, we documented where, you know, everything from broken light bulbs to old camp stoves to signatures and gloves and everything. And then it was time, after we did this for about an hour or so, it was time to crawl all the way back out of the cave.
It's short.
And you're kind of stuck in there.
Oh, yeah, stuck myself in the crack.
Coming back across formerly impossible, crawling that tight ledge, and here you see Tommy Brucker. Tommy's coming across next in the orange. Tommy was, he's pretty famous caver himself. In the 1970s, he helped make the Flint Mammoth connection. Read the book The Longest Cave that his dad wrote, Roger Brucker. His dad was also there at the camp in the 1950s. And then here I am, and if you look where my hands are, between my two hands, that's a 90-foot crevice. I did not like spanning across this, being exposed, and then on this tight ledge that just slants off into this pit. It's not my idea of fun. I liked all the other stuff, but I didn't like the heights too much.
Yes, sir.
Hey, we just come out of Crystal Cave after a 10-hour trip. It is snowing. You never know what's happening on the surface when you're in the bowels of the earth. So not a lot of footage on our return trip back out. Most of it was done going in to document the route and to document us at the camp. But about a 10-hour trip, as you can see, it was snowing when we came out of the cave. Reedy and myself and a few others came out earlier as a go-ahead group to let the surface watch know that we were on time and everything was okay. The second half of our group actually did not get out of the cave until about an hour and a half after us. But it was such a fun trip. So good to cave with some of my friends, some of the caving legends, like I said, in my mind. And it was just a great experience. And so I hope you've enjoyed this, maybe even watching it. My wife, she watches this stuff and she starts to get claustrophobic just watching it. So caving's not for everybody, but for those of us that enjoy it, you know, this is our way of bringing you along on a special trip.